Hello everyone, I welcome you to this episode of Go Programming on my channel. We took a look briefly at writing your first Hello World program in the last video. I would reiterate on that and then we move on to the next thing that we want to look at for today, which is variables, how you define variables and how you use them in Go. So briefly, on the screen here is the code we wrote previously on how you can write your first Hello World program. We use this package called FMT, which is part of the Go Lang first party libraries. What it does is to provide you some helpful methods that you can use to print to the std out, that's directly into your terminal or from wherever you are running the Go program. To run this program, all you need to do is go into the folder. As you do cd go intro, which is the name of the folder. So go intro, and then I can basically say go run and the name of the file main.go, and when you press enter you get hello go in the terminal directly. So all of this is what we looked at from the previous video. So today I have created another folder here called go vars, short for variables. We will be looking at how you can define a variable in Go. So there are two ways of doing this. You can go the long route, should I say the long way of defining variables, say using the var keyword. So you basically just say var, then the name of the variable. Let's call this var variable, and then the type of the variable. Go is a heavily typed language, so you need to provide types. So the type comes after the variable name, as opposed to other languages where you would expect that the type should come before the variable name, but in this case it comes after. So the variable name, and then you specify the type. In this case we want it to be string, and you can immediately assign a value, or you can just define the variable and then assign the value later on by saying a variable equals hello go, and then within our print statement we can change the hard-coded string into a variable by replacing that, say, a variable within the print line statement, and then you save. And then if we run this, now we need to go into the other folder, which is the go vars. Then if we say go run main.go, and then you still get your hello go working perfectly. So anything you change here, it still works fine. Run this again. So we have our hello world in the terminal, so this still works perfectly. Now if we wanted to assign this variable to something else, say a variable equals another hello world, and then we run this. Let's see what happens. Go run main.go. It still runs perfectly fine because this is also a string. So far we don't assign another variable type, another data type to this variable. It will still work fine. So let's see when we try to assign a number. You can immediately see that there's a red line underneath here. Go compiler is already telling us that this wouldn't run. So you can see the red line telling you cannot use cannot use 1 untyped integer constant as string value in assignment. So that's quite straightforward, but let's say we still wanted to exhibit coconut head and still run this. Let's see what happens. So you can see the exact same error message coming into your terminal. So that is how variable assignments work for in Go. And there is also a shorthand method. So let's say we had another variable that we wanted to create, and we can do that by not using the var keyword. We can use the shorthand method of creating a variable. So in this case, we would need to assign a value, because that value is how Go will infer the type of this variable. So using the shorthand keyword, we can immediately assign the value to something. So let's say we assign it to a number 12, and we print this out, fmt dot print line another variable, and then we run this, go run main.go. We can see it runs perfectly fine. We have our 12 in the terminal. Now that Go has inferred from this that this variable is a of type integer, if we try to assign another type to it, say a string, can immediately also see that there's a red squiggly line underneath telling us this variable assignment is wrong. So that's how Go infers types, and also how you can define the type of the variable. There is also a const keyword in Go that you can use to assign constant values. So let's say I define const, a constant, and I say equals 1. If we print that out, fmt print line print 9 a const, if we run this code, you see you have your 1 in the terminal. And as with all consts, you cannot reassign the value to something else. So if I say a const is true, for example, you can already see the red squiggly line telling you you cannot assign another variable to type const. So that's how you define variables in Go. I hope this has been helpful to you. Stay tuned for the next one.